Late autumn light creeps through cracked window panes, casting thin shadows across the room. Each shadow tells a story of its own. An old, battered chair in the corner, once occupied by someone who mattered, stirs memories of laughter and warmth. But now it sits abandoned, gathering dust in the two-story home Arthur inhabits alone. He has spent the last 30 years walking through the boxy halls of this house, which still retain echoes of his past with Marianne. The house is clean yet impersonal, filled with remnants of their shared life. Framed photographs, turned face down, reveal smiling faces he refuses to meet with his own eyes. An unopened stack of mail collects dust on the old kitchen table, each piece a whisper from a world that continues to move forward without him. Outside, the rain patters against the weathered gray clapboard, blending with the muted rustling of bare branches, bringing a heavy stillness to the air. Arthur glances at the only coat hanging in the closet, a threadbare reminder of a time when he was needed and wanted. At the same time, far from the quiet cocoon of Arthur's home, his daughter Lucy navigates the busy streets of Boston, where bright lights and bustling crowds distract her from her own discontent. She works at a nonprofit, her days filled with stories of those in need, yet she feels out of place. The noise of city life feels like static against the hum of her memories of home. Lucy's heart weighs heavy as she approaches the cafe where she meets her father. While the aroma of roasted coffee beans wafts through the air, she remembers the last embrace they shared, cut short by awkwardness and unspoken words. This cafe, the very one near the hospital where her mother spent her final days, has become their emotional battleground, devoid of warmth or history. She steps inside, the fluorescent lights buzzing coldly as she orders a coffee, its bitterness matching the tension she feels. The laminated menu hangs limply in her hands, its lack of options reflecting the limited choices they have in rekindling their fractured relationship. Arthur arrives, his feet dragging as he crosses the slick pavement outside, raindrops sliding off his umbrella. As he steps inside, he notices Lucy already seated at their usual spot in the corner, her fingers tapping rhythmically against the plastic table. He wonders if she feels the weight of the quiet as acutely as he does. "Hey, Dad," Lucy greets him, her tone too bright against the muted background noise. "Hey," he replies, slipping into the chair across from her. The tension is palpable, like fog hanging in the air, making it hard to breathe. Neither has quite figured out how to bridge the chasm between them. They exchange small talk about the weather and work, each word feeling like a step across a chasm they both dread crossing. Unopened mail clutters their minds, the unspoken feelings too heavy to bear. As minutes pass, silence envelopes them, punctuated only by the occasional hiss of the espresso machine. The silence is deafening. Arthur looks out the window, where raindrops run down the glass like tears, mirroring the longing he feels. He always thought they would heal together, that time would allow them to reconcile, yet here they sit, both stuck in their own silos of grief and regret. "Do you ever think about her?" Lucy asks suddenly, breaking the silence. Arthur stiffens but nods. He takes a moment before he replies, "Every day." The confession lingers between them like smoke. "Me too," she admits. A shared grief, unprocessed and raw, suddenly exposes the vulnerability they both hide beneath layers of disdain and misunderstanding. Conversations slowly unfurl amidst the weight of expectation. Arthur begins to speak of the lively autumn days they shared as a family, playing in the leaves, pumpkin carving, laughter spilling out into the crisp air, and Lucy listens, allowing her guard to drop just a little. Memories rise like mist from the deep recesses of their minds, foggy yet beautiful in their own right. "I remember the time we got lost after the pumpkin festival." Lucy smiles faintly. "You didn't panic. You just pulled out the map and pointed. 'This is an adventure,' you said." Arthur chuckles, the sound foreign yet welcome. "I wasn't sure where we were heading." Their trust builds. They begin to navigate through painful recollections, dismantling the walls they had built over years of silence. As their cups grow cold and the sun sinks behind the rain-soaked buildings, the air between them shifts. Arthur finally reaches for the framed family photo on his phone, its cheerful image a stark contrast to their surroundings. "I want to put this back on the wall," he admits hesitantly. "It feels wrong, hiding it." Lucy's eyes widen at the admission. "Maybe we can change that together." The notion feels fragile, like a newly sprouted bud pushing through the frost. With a nod of understanding, they stand to leave the cafe, their conversation lingering amid the fluorescent lights. Outside, the rain has started to lighten, reflecting their shifting hearts. As they walk towards the edge of the emotional silence that has bound them, it seems they might finally find a way to begin again, one step at a time. And just like that, amidst memories, echoes of the past, and hints of new beginnings, they step into the world beyond, where heavy air finally begins to lift. A week has passed since the cafe meeting, and Arthur finds himself standing at the doorstep of Lucy's apartment in Boston, the chill of autumn nipping at his fingers. His heart thumps loudly in his chest, echoing memories of his youth when he had been full of hope and ambition. Through the years, that hope had faded, yet today, he feels a flicker of it returning. Lucy opens the door, her eyes brightening even amid the muted gray of early November. "Dad," she says, "you made it." The warmth in her voice fills the small space between them, and Arthur manages a smile that feels more genuine than any he's worn in years. Stepping inside, he notices the inviting chaos of her life, a vibrant mix of books, cozy throws, and plants that somehow thrive in the dim light. "It smells amazing," he remarks, enveloped in the aroma of freshly baked bread. "I wanted to try a recipe, made it just for you," she replies, pride evident in her voice as she gestures towards the kitchen. As they settle down at a small wooden table nestled against the window, they share stories over warm slices of bread and steaming mugs of tea. With each sip, Arthur feels the tension in his shoulders ease, the laughter softening the sharp edges of their conversations. They delve into discussions about Lucy's work, her aspirations, and the subtle details of her life that he had long yearned to know. After dinner, they move to the living room, where silence creeps back in, heavy yet familiar. Despite the warmth of the food and the gentle conversation, an undercurrent of pain remains. Arthur glances towards a shelf filled with memorabilia, one item stealing his attention, a photo frame of him, Marianne, and Lucy at a summer picnic. "Do you think she'd be proud of us?" Lucy asks suddenly, breaking the stillness. The question hangs in the air, unguarded and raw. Arthur sighs, the weight of the past pressing down on him. "I like to think so. She always believed we would find a way back to each other," he says, his voice cracked with sincerity. Lucy bites her lip, holding back tears that weren't meant to spill. "It's just, I wish I had been able to understand more when she was alive," she confesses, her eyes shimmering with unspoken sorrow. "Me too," Arthur admits. "I let so much time go by. I was lost in my own grief." They share a moment of silence, two fragments of a broken family piecing together memories and remorse. Together, they lay their burdens out on the table, letting words weave through the tangled threads of their relationship. Memories of Marianne, the laughter, the quarrels, the mundane moments that were interspersed with love, reveal the complexity of loss and redefine their narratives. As the days pass, Arthur and Lucy make a pact to meet every week, each encounter a step forward in their own healing journeys. They visit parks, attend art shows, and share meals, slowly transforming shared grief into a bond of understanding. Lucy embarks on small projects in her father's home, encouraging him to remember Mary and not through the lens of pain but through the moments of joy she had brought into their lives. On one rainy afternoon, as they sift through old boxes of forgotten photographs in the attic, Arthur finds a worn-out envelope containing letters Marianne had written to both him and Lucy. The words, full of love and dreams, become their treasure. "This one," he starts, unfolding it gently. "It's addressed to you, Lucy." Lucy brings the letter close, and they curl up together under the attic's eaves, reading her words aloud. Laughter mingles with tears as they navigate through the emotions that swell up during their shared experience. With each encounter and every word shared, the heavy air that once surrounded them lifts, revealing fragments of hope ahead. In the twilight of their strained relationship, they find a new rhythm amidst the echoes of November. They learn that while the past will always shadow them, it doesn't have to define them. Together, they rediscover the promise of each new day, allowing each moment to unfold like the vibrant leaves that catch the light. And as they journey toward healing, Arthur realizes that loneliness has no power over shared memories. Memory becomes a bridge where love once flourished, a connection renewed amidst the stillness of a New England autumn weighty with meaning. As the chill of November deepens, Arthur and Lucy find themselves on the cusp of a new chapter in their lives, one marked by connection and healing. The light fades early now, casting long shadows that remind Arthur of the changing seasons, both outside and within himself. While their journey through grief has been marked by gradual steps forward, they both understand that hurdles remain. With Thanksgiving approaching, Lucy suggests they invite friends over to share a meal. "It's time to fill these walls with laughter again," she declares, her enthusiasm infectious. Arthur hesitates, his instinct to retreat into solitude battling against a yearning for companionship, but Lucy's excited eyes win him over. As the day of the gathering approaches, they bond over preparations. Flour dusts their aprons as they bake pies and roast turkeys, their laughter mingling with the scents of spices and sweetness. Arthur discovers a newfound joy in cooking, memories of Marianne guiding his hands like gentle whispers, encouraging him to create instead of lament. On the day of Thanksgiving, Arthur stands in the kitchen, a place that had felt foreign for years, arranging the centerpiece. The table is filled with different dishes, a colorful spread that reflects their combined efforts. When friends gather, neighbors and co-workers, warmth fills the home, and Arthur feels the walls of his once impersonal abode beginning to breathe again. Lucy shines amongst the group, her laughter bright and lifeful. As the evening unfolds under soft lighting, they share stories, filling the house with joy, gradually erasing the silence that had once reigned dominantly. Over dessert, Lucy stands to deliver an impromptu toast. To family and friends, both past and present, she announces, her eyes glimmering as she glances at her father. Arthur feels a swell of emotion. This is the life he thought he had lost, the small moments of connection and happiness he had craved. They reminisce about Marianne, recounting her quirky culinary adventures and the holidays they spent together, weaving her memory seamlessly into the fabric of their present. As winter approaches, a fresh frost blankets the town, signaling a time of rest before rebirth. Arthur, emboldened by the connections he has reforged, decides to volunteer at a local shelter, honoring his wife's spirit of kindness and charity. It's a community effort that Lucy prepares to join him in, turning their shared grief into compassion for others. During this season of giving, Arthur feels invigorated by the idea of moving forward rather than clinging to the remnants of what had once been. The ragged branches outside his window, once stark and bare, begin to bear the weight of snow, a promise of renewal. After each day spent at the shelter, Lucy and Arthur come home exhausted but fulfilled, their conversations rich with the stories of those they've met. They find themselves in a rhythm, a symbiosis of sorts, where sadness gives way to gratitude and hope. As December settles in, they craft a new set of holiday traditions, where laughter replaces silence, and memories of their past don't dissolve into sorrow but blossom into love. They hang ornaments on a new tree, each one representing a cherished moment, the echoes of November slowly fading into a harmonious symphony of acceptance. In the quiet of their changed lives, Arthur glances out the window one evening as snowflakes drift softly down. Faintly, he hears the sound of laughter from Lucy's room, a melody he had almost forgotten existed within those walls. For the first time in years, he lets the weight of solitude lift. He knows now that they have the power to shape their tomorrows together. And thus, the season of heavy hearts transforms into one of new beginnings, where each breath reminds them that life, even amidst loss, can still be beautiful. The winter blankets the town in a hush, and Arthur finds himself reflecting on the past 6 months. Gone are the days spent in solitude, subsumed by grief. Instead, laughter fills the corners of his home, and warmth radiates from shared meals and quiet conversations with Lucy. He runs a hand over the bareness of his dining room table, now marked by the beauty of friendship and family gatherings. One winter evening, as a fresh layer of snow falls, Arthur sits in his living room with a cup of steaming tea. Lucy shuffles through the snow outside, hoping to capture the day's last light before twilight descends. The sight of her carefree spirit, bundled in warm clothing, brings a smile to his lips as he appreciates the transformation in their relationship. Lucy bursts in, cheeks flushed with cold, shaking snow from her coat. "Dad, come on. You've got to see this," she calls out, her excitement echoing in the quiet space. Arthur rises, following her outside. Together, they wander into the newfound whiteness, creating footprints that speak of shared moments. "It's so peaceful," Lucy observes, glancing up at the sky, which flickers with stars beginning to emerge. Their laughter dances in the air, resonating against the still backdrop of their neighborhood. But as the holidays draw nearer, an unexpected storm brews within Arthur. Memories of past Christmases flood his mind, stirring an ache he had thought had subsided. The remnants of loss threaten to engulf him again, whispering doubts about his ability to fully embrace joy without Marianne. One stormy night, as wind howls outside, Arthur finds himself retreating into silence. He watches Lucy through the doorway as she drowns out her worries with holiday preparations, stringing lights, wrapping gifts, and decorating the tree. Her joy only serves to deepen the shadows clawing at his heart. "Dad?" Lucy's voice cuts through the haze as she finds him sitting alone. "What's wrong?" Arthur's voice falters, all the words he had tried to suppress finally escaping. "I'm scared, Lucy. Scared that if I move on, I'll forget her." The admission, heavy as snow, spills into the open air between them. Lucy settles next to him, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. "You won't forget her, Dad. But we can't live in the shadow of our grief. She wouldn't want that." Her comforting words rally in his mind, pushing against the storm within him. With Lucy's encouragement, Arthur begins to confront his fears. They sit together on the couch, sifting through holiday decorations that once belonged to Marianne. Each ornament has its own story, and as they recount shared memories, Arthur feels the grip of sorrow loosen. The holiday season strikes a balance between honoring the past and celebrating the present, a delicate dance he is beginning to learn. In the weeks that follow, Arthur entwines old traditions with new ones, celebrating the light that still shines within him and his daughter. They create their own rituals, baking cookies with Lucy's friends, inviting new neighbors over for a potluck, and volunteering for a holiday drive at the shelter. Each day cements their renewed bond, each laugh, a step towards healing. As they gather with friends on Christmas Eve, Arthur feels a warmth radiating through the home. The house, once steeped in silence, now glimmers with life. They exchange gifts and stories, laughter spilling into every corner as the night deepens. When Lucy stands to propose a toast, Arthur's heart swells. To family, she proclaims, glancing meaningfully at him, in new beginnings. As he raises his glass, Arthur finally understands. Marianne is part of their story, woven into the fabric of their lives, a gentle reminder that love is neither diminished nor confined by loss. As the clock strikes midnight, the first snow of Christmas envelopes the house in a hush, mirroring the peace that settles deeply within Arthur's heart. And so, in that quiet New England town, amidst rain-delighted pasts and expectations of bright tomorrows, Arthur and Lucy step forth, side by side, into their new life, clutching the remnants of love while embracing the embrace of hope that lies ahead. The dawn of January brings with it a promise of renewal. The old year has slipped quietly away, leaving behind echoes of laughter and lingering memories of love that have shaped Arthur and Lucy's journey. As Arthur sips his morning coffee, watching the frost glitter on the window panes, he allows himself to feel hopeful. Winter holds its cold grip over the town, but in Arthur's heart, warmth grows. New Year's Day arrives, and with it, a flurry of resolutions. Lucy, ever the spark of inspiration, proposes they embark on a project to honor Marianne fully, a scrapbook that captures their memories. Let's fill its pages with her stories, her recipes, and everything that made her, Lucy suggests excitedly, her eyes shimmering with enthusiasm. They gather old photographs and letters strewn across Arthur's home. Each image unveils laughter, warmth, and bittersweet recollections. As they collaborate over the blank pages, the act of creation itself becomes a form of therapy, a way to reclaim joy amidst their shared heartache. Well, this looks terrible, Arthur chuckles, trying to organize a haphazard array of pictures. Lucy giggles. That's the beauty of it. It's a mess just like life. Together, they craft a narrative that represents not only their love for Marianne, but also their resilience, a testament to the journey of moving forward without forgetting where they came from. As the winter slowly relinquishes its reign, the first hints of spring ripple through New England. Fresh shoots of green punctuate the starkness of the landscape, and Arthur feels revitalized, much like the flora awakening from dormancy. In the midst of this transformation, Arthur discovers a need to create something tangible, a garden. "I want a space where we can celebrate her," he declares to Lucy one afternoon, the warmth of the sun breaking through the clouds. Together they start the project. The ground is still cold, but their spirits are warm. They discuss what to plant, flowers Marianne adored, along with herbs she used in her renowned recipes. Each seed they place in the ground signifies hope and growth, allowing them to honor her love for nature. As spring seeps in, they witness the first flowers bloom, the garden becoming a sanctuary infused with Marianne's essence. They invite friends over for a small gathering to celebrate their progress, the newfound community strength beaming bright against the still cool days. The cafe where Arthur often meets Lucy is now alive with new conversations imbued with both loss and hope. It has become a shared haven for reflection, a place where walls that once felt suffocated with silence are filled with laughter and stories. One afternoon, as they gather for coffee, Lucy leans forward, all seriousness. "Dad, I've been thinking. Do you remember that trip we always talked about taking?" Arthur's brow furrows in thought, years of plans that had fallen by the wayside, sentiments lost amid chores and daily life. "You mean to the coast?" he inquires, a flicker of interest peeking. "Yes. How about we do it this summer? Just us, getting the chance to strengthen our bond, enjoy the little things. Marianne would want us to live." He considers it, her words igniting a fervent light within. "Okay, let's start planning," he agrees, excitement curling in his chest, a new adventure. As they dive into discussions about road trips, snacks, and laughter-filled nights under the stars, The heaviness that had once defined their relationship becomes a thing of the past. With every plan they make, every step they take, Arthur realizes that life is not simply a series of memories clinging to the shadows. It's filled with endless possibilities, and it's alive in new chapters waiting to be written. Together, Arthur and Lucy step out of the cafe, hand in hand, ready to embrace the unfolding world around them, hearts open to tomorrow's gentle promise, inspired by the love that had shaped their journey as they rest in Marianne's warm embrace. The summer dawns bright and warm, a stark contrast to the cooler months that preceded it. The air is filled with the scent of salt and sun, promising adventure. Arthur and Lucy stand in the driveway, loading the car with bags and supplies for their journey to the coast. Excitement thrums between them, each item packed becoming a symbol of their shared intentions to celebrate life. As they drive, the scenery shifts from the gray homes and damp streets of their New England town to the vibrant hues of the open road. They sing along to Lucy's playlist, the music swirling around them like the warm summer air. Arthur feels a blossoming sense of freedom, each song stirring memories and igniting anticipation for what lies ahead. They stop at an iconic diner, and Arthur watches Lucy animatedly order their meals, her laughter spilling over the clattering of plates and murmur of voices around them. He finds himself captivated by this new version of Lucy, an adult forged in the fires of grief, yet finding her footing again with a joyful heart. "Dad, how about we share our goal for this trip?" Lucy suggests after their meals are devoured. They lean on the sun-drenched hood of the car, staring out toward the horizon. "I want to reconnect with my old self," Arthur admits quietly, glancing at her. "The one that was carefree and happy before everything felt heavy." "Well then, we'll do it together," Lucy promises, her voice spilling with enthusiasm. "Let's make a pact to find joy, laughter, and adventure, just like Mom would have wanted." With that simple agreement solidified, they return to the road, excited for the memories waiting to be created. After hours of travel punctuated by laughter and shared stories, they finally arrive at their destination. The coast unfurls before them, a broad expanse of sand meeting the vibrant blue of the ocean, waves rolling softly. As they walk along the beach, the sun dips toward the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and gold. Arthur collects seashells, his hands brushing against the sand, each shell a reminder of the beauty and fleeting moments. Lucy captures it all through her camera lens, snapping pictures of waves crashing playfully and children building sandcastles, the scene both familiar and foreign. As dusk settles, they sit on the sand, the ocean's rhythm soothing their hearts. Arthur turns to Lucy, still gazing at the sunset. "Do you think Mom would love this place?" he asks, vulnerability creeping into his voice. Lucy nods, her gaze reflecting the fading light. "Absolutely. She'd be right here with us, probably planning a picnic for tomorrow." A comfortable silence blankets them as they watch the sun slip away, leaving behind a canvas of twilight. The moment encapsulates their shared memory of Marianne, intertwining their present with those they loved and lost. Arthur takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of his grief transform into a gentle ache, a reminder that love endures. The trip unfolds beautifully, each day dedicated to exploration. Arthur and Lucy hike picturesque trails, explore quirky shops in coastal towns, and savor ice cream under the sun. Laughter spills easily, echoing against the backdrop of crashing waves and gentle breezes. A week passes, and as they prepare to leave, Arthur can't help but feel a bittersweet pang settle in his chest. The coast has become a place of healing for him, a sanctuary that reminded him how to find light amidst loss. On their final evening, they gather shells along the shore, letting the water lap at their feet. Lucy suggests they leave a shell behind, a token of their visit and a symbol of their growth. Arthur agrees, kneeling, writing a small note on the shell, a message of thanks for the memories shared and those yet to come. "You ready?" he asks Lucy as they hold the shell together, the ocean whispering secrets around them. She nods, her eyes sparkling with both mischief and emotion. On the count of three? 3, they chant in unison before tossing the shell into the waves. As it disappears into the ocean's embrace, Arthur feels lighter, as if he'd just released a burden he'd been carrying. The journey back might take them from this place, but the experience and reconciliation they've found will never leave them. Driving home, Arthur steals glances at Lucy, who grins, her hands dancing to her favorite songs. The road ahead stretches long, but it no longer feels uncertain. Together, they can navigate the highways of life, something solidified in every passing mile. As they approach their New England town, Arthur smiles at the thought of their garden, the project that continues to bloom with every shared moment. He understands that while grief is a part of their story, it is not their entirety. With Lucy by his side, he is ready to face whatever comes next, knowing that loss cannot hold a candle to the light of love and hope. As the car rolls to a stop outside their weathered gray home, Arthur looks to the sky, a tapestry of stars emerging from dusk. "This is just the beginning," he whispers, and Lucy squeezes his hand, her laughter echoing inside him. And so, they step forth into each tomorrow, together, their hearts intertwined with the everlasting embrace of memories and the promise of what lies ahead. Back in their quiet New England town, the days gradually settle into a new rhythm. The vibrant memories of their coast adventure blend softly into the everyday life Arthur and Lucy once knew, filled with moments of mundane, yet comforting routine. The garden flourishes in the warm summer sun, its blossoms an ongoing tribute to Mary Ann, bringing fresh smiles and whispering stories. Arthur resumes his morning coffee ritual, often shared with Lucy as they discuss the plans she has made for the upcoming college semester. This summer, filled with light and laughter, has infused their home with hope that spills over into their lives. One afternoon, Lucy proposes they host a neighborhood potluck to celebrate their completed garden, inviting friends to share in the fruitage of joy and warmth. Arthur is initially hesitant, fearing the vulnerability that comes with social gatherings, but Lucy's excitement convinces him to embrace the challenge. "Dad, it's a chance for everyone to come together," she urges, her enthusiasm infectious. "You never know, some of our neighbors might have loved ones they want to share stories about too." As the invite goes out and preparations begin, Arthur finds himself fluctuating between apprehension and anticipation. The shadows of old insecurities remain, but with every chain of flowers hung and table set, he learns that vulnerability can also invite connection. The day of the potluck arrives, and an inviting buzz fills the air. The sun casts long shadows as friends and neighbors stream into their backyard, carrying dishes filled with culinary delights. Laughter intermingles with the fragrance of food. In the garden, a medley of colors and warmth acts as a backdrop filled with shared stories and life. Arthur stands at the grill with nearby friends, flipping burgers while Lucy floats between guests, sharing smiles and laughter. He watches her, glowing with warmth as she pushes past her own shyness, engaging everyone. It fills him with pride to see her thriving, no longer just the daughter burdened by grief, but a woman ready to embrace life in full bloom. As they sit under the canopy of twinkling lights, guests begin to share short stories about Mary Ann. Arthur listens, a gentle ache forming in his heart. But this time, it's different. Each recollection acts as a salve, transforming his sorrow into gratitude for the love they shared, symbolized by the voices that resonate in the night air. "Your mom made the best chocolate chip cookies," a neighbor muses. "I still remember how we used to sneak some from the edge of your kitchen table every time we came over." Arthur shares a knowing smile, realizing that Mary Ann lives on through these small, joyous remembrances, and it fills the gaps created by loss. As the summer winds down and the vibrant colors of fall begin their resurgence, Arthur feels solidified in his own skin. His relationship with Lucy has blossomed like the flowers in their garden, nurturing an unbreakable bond stitched together by grief, love, and laughter. Lucy approaches him one evening, excitement dancing in her eyes. "Dad, remember the scrapbook? I think it's time we start planning something else. How about a family trip next year to celebrate Mom's birthday? We could invite everyone we've come to meet, share her stories, and even bake her famous cookies together." Arthur feels a thrill of excitement.